There are moments in life when the heart feels tired, when hope feels far away, and when the world seems to turn its back on us. The Quran tells us a story for exactly such moments. It is the story of Hazrat Yunus alayhi salam, a prophet of Allah, and a reminder that no darkness is deeper than Allah's mercy. Hazrat Yunus alayhi salam was sent by Allah to a city called Nineveh, an ancient city in Iraq. Its people had gone astray. They worshipped false gods and ignored the truth. Hazrat Yunus alayhi salam warned his people repeatedly, calling them back to the path of Allah with compassion and concern. He reminded them of the countless blessings Allah had bestowed upon them, the fertile land, the abundant provisions, and the protections they enjoyed. He urged them to turn away from the lifeless idols that could neither hear nor answer, and to worship the one true God, Allah, who alone deserved their devotion. Despite his efforts, they turned a deaf ear, refusing to acknowledge Allah's greatness and their own need for guidance. Yunus alayhi salam cared deeply for their well-being, feeling their spiritual suffering as if it were his own, yet they persisted in their disobedience and refused to listen. As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, Hazrat Yunus alayhi salam saw no change in his people's ways. Their hearts remained hardened and their rejection of the truth persisted. Overwhelmed by the grief and concern for their fate, he began to feel that the punishment of Allah was imminent. Convinced that destruction loomed over Nineveh, Yunus alayhi salam made a decision. He would leave the city, abandoning his mission. This was not a decision born of arrogance, but of deep emotional pain and a sense of helplessness. Without waiting for divine permission, he turned his back onto the city he had loved and served, leaving behind the people he had called to Allah with such fervor. This was not pride, it was a moment of human weakness. Even prophets feel pain, they get helpless. With heavy heart, Hazrat Yunus alayhi salam departed from Nineveh and made his way to a nearby port where a ship was preparing to set sail. Without looking back, he boarded the vessel, seeking escape from the pain of his memories. The sails caught the wind and the ship began its journey, carrying Yunus alayhi salam further and further away from the city he had once called home. Little did he know this journey would lead him to a trial far greater than the one he had left behind. At first, the sea was calm, but suddenly dark clouds gathered. The wind grew fierce, the waves rose high, and the storm got strong. The sailors were scared. To save the ship, they decided to draw lots to see who would be thrown into the sea. The lots were drawn, and Yunus alayhi salam was chosen. They drew again, and again it was him. The sailors knew this was fate, and with heavy hearts, they cast Yunus alayhi salam into the sea. The waves closed over him like a shroud, and the ocean swallowed him into its cold, dark depths. But that was not the end. A massive fish swooped up Yunus alayhi salam in its jaws and swallowed him whole. Miraculously, he felt no pain, no injury, only an overwhelming sense of darkness. It was a darkness that seemed to have layers, the darkness of the night, sky above, the darkness of the sea's unfathomable depths, and the suffocating darkness of the fish belly, all combining to envelop him. In that moment, Yunus alayhi salam was alone with his thoughts, with no sight, no sound, no escape, and no one to turn to except Allah. In the silence of the whale's belly, he had time to introspect and accepted his mistake that he had left his people without divine permission, abandoning his post as a prophet. With complete humility, he called upon Allah. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minas zalimeen. There is no God but you. Glory be to you. Indeed, I was among the wrongdoers. This simple dua came from a sincere heart. Allah heard him. Because Yunus alayhi salam remembered Allah even in hardship, Allah accepted his repentance. By Allah's command, the fish released him onto the shore. Yunus alayhi salam was alive and saved by mercy. He was weak and exhausted. Allah caused a plant to grow beside him, giving shade and nourishment. Slowly his strength returned, and so did his peace. Meanwhile, the people of Nineveh realized their sins. Fear entered their hearts. They repented, they believed, they turned back to Allah, and Allah, in His mercy, forgave them. When Yunus alayhi salam returned, he found his people changed. They believed, all of them. This story teaches us never lose hope in Allah. Dua can reach Allah from anywhere. Admitting mistakes brings mercy, as Allah's forgiveness is limitless. When you feel trapped, remember Yunus alayhi salam. When life feels dark, remember his dua. The same Allah who saved Yunus alayhi salam from the depths of the ocean is listening to you today. No darkness lasts forever. No sincere dua goes unheard.